Let's go. All right, and we are live. It's been a task of the day trying to get to this point. We were supposed to start at 9 o'clock. I had a bunch of other stuff going on, so that's my fault. First, want to thank my family for being here. My son at the bottom, Akil Davis, Akil Real on Facebook. My first cousin to my on my screen, he's to my right, Johnny Davis, aka Dub Sounds. Tonight we're gonna go in. Conversation is about smoking marijuana, smoking weed. Uh, we might also delve into being under the influence of other substances. A few weeks ago, I made a comment on. I sent did a post on my Facebook personal page. I said something along the lines of, "You can accomplish ish if you're high and drunk every day." Of course, my cuz he chimed in real quick. He said, "That's a damn lie. I, I smoke hella, and my business is successful." So yeah, we had another person chime in, Annie Kiss. Annie is not here with us tonight. I don't know why she didn't come in because she had a whole different perspective that could be related to some other viewers that might come on here. Disappointed that she can't be here, but we're gonna go in and do what it do. Um, Initially, I was gonna do some research and pull up some content so we can just kind of elaborate on stuff. Like I said, I was running behind, so I'm a little bit unorganized. But we're gonna go ahead and wing it. We're just gonna go in and we're gonna have a dialogue, and hopefully we get some people chime in on the comments, and then we'll just handle it like that. So I already pretty much introduced y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the floor and just kind of let you reintroduce yourself and say anything that I should have said that I missed out on. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to my cuz real quick. Dub Sounds, hit him up.
Yeah. Once again, man, Johnny Davis. That's my actual real name. Stage name is Dub Sounds. Man of many trades, many talents. Master of none, jack of all trades. You know, um, also find me on acting as well. Straight Gate. Check that out. And it's pretty much all I got for right now.
Absolutely. All right, Akil.
I'm Akil Davis. Again, I feel like I think I've already introduced myself on the one episode, but I'm the son of Philip Davis. Um, I'm here in Myrtle Beach. I'm an educator, and
Mm.
that's why I'm gonna kind of watch what I say on here tonight with this topic.
All right, so I don't know. Let's how should we? How do y'all want to dive into it? Y'all want me to lead in, or is it a certain way you want to? Either you want to start in. Let's see.
What I'm saying? You the man of the hour. What I'm saying?
Right
Follow
here.
how you wanna roll it.
All right. So what I want to do now is I want to share my screen, and again, you guys bear with me. This is a new platform. Oh, still trying to get through the kinks and all that little stuff here. So we're gonna do hit share screen. I want y'all to let me know if you can see my screen. All right, so here, then I'm gonna hit it. Boom. All right, so first
Yeah.
of all, um I know some people might be like, why are you even up here even talking about weed smoke? Everybody knows about weed. It's common. Everybody knows, it ain't nothing. It's just like drinking. But I feel like I wanted to come on here and kind of speak, just to talk to some of the people that might be a little bit on the fence, some people that might be smoking already, some people that might be trying to be on their way out, and some people that probably just don't have any education on it at all. We're gonna share some perspectives. I'm gonna give my experience with weed smoke back in the day, and yeah, hopefully this thing will be a certain benefit for some people. All right, so is my voice good? Can everybody hear me good?
Yep, loud and clear.
All right. So I'm not going to go into what is marijuana. We all know that it's a herbal plant that people uh, smoke. Some do it for recreational. Some do it for medicinal reasons. Let's go down here. I wanted to um I wanted to start out with how does marijuana affect you in a negative way? So again, um I didn't come very prepared with the information that I wanted to use, so I just kind of went in here and Googled something real quick. It's real close to what I had saved on my computer before, but something happened and the tab got misplaced. So I'm just gonna go through here a little quick, read, and then we'll go from there. Um, how does marijuana affect the brain? Marijuana has both short and long term effects on the brain. All right. So when a person smokes marijuana, THC quickly passes through the lungs into the bloodstream. The blood carries the chemical to the brain and other organs throughout the body. The body absorbs THC more slowly when the person eats or drinks it. In that case, they generally feel the effects after 30 minutes to an hour. THC as a acts on specific brain cell receptors that ordinarily react to the natural THC like chemicals. So there's a natural THC like chemicals in the brain already. These natural chemicals play a role in a normal brain development and function. Marijuana active overactivates parts of the brain that contains the highest number of these receptors. These cause the high that people feel. These this causes the high that people feel. Other effects include altered senses, for example, seeing brighter colors, altered sense of time, changes in mood, impaired body movement, difficulty with thinking and problem solving, impaired memory, hallucinations when taken in high doses, delusions when taken in high doses, psychosis. Risk is high with regular use of high potential marijuana. So we'll move on to long term effects. Marijuana also affects brain development. When people began using marijuana as teenagers, the drug may impair thinking, memory, and learning functions, and affect how the brain builds connections between the areas necessary for these functions. Researchers are still studying how long marijuana effects last and whether some changes may be permanent. All right, so I think I'll stop right there. Um, just reading that part right there, I can think back when I first experimented with marijuana and then actually got into the habit of smoking marijuana every day. I can remember the clarity of my thinking, the fluency of my speaking before I started it, um, while I was doing it, and then a while after I smoked it for a while. For me, I feel like marijuana took a negative toll on me when I began smoking. The first time I smoked it, I didn't really feel anything. So I tried it again a couple more times. Then after that, I got a little buzz. I started feeling a little silly. Everything seemed like it was funny to me. Then after the high was starting to go down, or after I got done smoking, I got the munchies, and then I just kept doing it. kept doing it until it became a habit. And make a long story short, when I quit smoking, it was one day I was so high. I looked in the mirror and I saw a black skeleton. And at that point, I feel like, it totally changed who I was. I then began being paranoid, fidgety. It was hard for me to focus when before I started smoking marijuana, my focus was like laser sharp. I mean, my responses to everything was just like accurate. Um, uh, but like I said, after the time that I spent smoking, I noticed a decline in my cognitive functions, and for me, it was a negative thing. So I had to let it go, and still to this day, I feel like I'm still recovering from that. Sometimes I can be in a conversation, I'll draw a complete blank, and I have to try to remember what it was I was about to say or what it was I was about to do. And you guys might be able to notice it, some in this live or just in past lives that I did. You can see me. I'll get a little blockage, and then I have to kind of try to bring myself back up to speed. So it's a continuous battle for me having to deal with that situation because of the choices that I made. Um, at the end of the day, if if I had the choice to do it again, I would never have touched it. With that said, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the floor open. One of you guys can go ahead and pick up, chime in from there, and then we'll keep it moving.
All right, so yeah, definitely, man. I'm gonna go ahead and chime in immediately on, especially when you were saying something about that memory. I feel like, man, I feel like that's a diet and an age thing going on with you right there.
Mm. You think
You know
so?
what I'm saying? Well, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to be 100% on that, but I will say your diet will have something to do with that. And of
Mhm.
course, as we all get older, you know what I'm saying, our brain doesn't function the way as it should, you know what I'm saying, normally would as we all get older. That's going to happen with everyone. But it could be the cause of marijuana as well. I'm not going to take that out of the picture. Weed affects everyone differently. Some people, they can just like for me, for instance, that's why I'm like, okay, nah, I'm gonna tell you it's a lie if you're gonna speak it on my behalf. I can't speak for everyone. It totally messes some people up, and then some people it just like for me, it helps me keep me calm. It helps me eat. Um, like me, I don't ever have any where I go where my memory. I don't think I have any memory loss because I have pretty good recall. And
Yeah.
actually, the more and the older that I've gotten, I've actually gotten smarter. I actually study and smoke at the same time. And if it was legal, I would smoke and work.
Yeah.
But I do not condone that. I really do not condone that because like I said, once again, some people could smoke and get out there and like you said, they're very slow. They're goofy. Everything is funny. Can't take things serious. Like I said, it affects everyone differently. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Some people use it as it is for medication. And earlier, as you read, I'm glad you said that it was a herb. It's a plant. I don't know why people keep thinking this is a drug. And it's not a drug. It is a herb. It grows naturally. So, on my behalf, I would just say it works fine with me. I don't abuse it either. I'm not smoking every 5 minutes. I don't abuse it as well. But I do smoke very heavily, very heavy. But I'm also productive when I smoke. It doesn't make me lazy. The only time it do make me lazy is when I'm in bed laying down, and that's at bedtime when I'm getting ready to go to bed. That's another thing. It helps me sleep. So I use it for its benefits. It's more than just to get high. Just to chill and get high. It's more for its actual benefits. So that's where I'm at with that stand.
And I could now that you said that, looking back too, I don't in those times I wasn't being uh very productive. I wasn't really building anything. I was just kind of like, out there in that fast life doing what they do out there. So taking a lot of things for granted.
Mhm.
Didn't really uh take uh take the opportunities to build. I was just in that mindset like, yeah, I'm getting it. I ain't got nothing to worry about. Just chilling, just doing whatever. So that makes a lot of sense. Like you said, if maybe if I was doing something more productive, then I probably would have had a different experience on it. But I
Right,
do recall when I was smoking, it gets you into a zone where whatever you're thinking about, it does it did make me magnify the thoughts that I was having. Like if I was in
hmm
conversations or if I, because I had got into like some spirituality stuff as well. And I recall back like one time I was reading me and my girlfriend at the time was reading a book. I don't remember what the title of the book was, but it was a spiritual book, and I do recall that experience being very deep and immersive while I was under under the influence of marijuana. I got to the point where I started knowing some of I started knowing what the book was going to be before I read into the chapters. Um,
mm
Stuff like that. It does kind of it does make you focus in and kind of be able to predict. But I think it got to a point where I really misused it and didn't I wasn't as productive as I should have been and got introduced to the dark side of it, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it definitely could pull you into the dark side. So, like I said, especially if you don't have any structure. When as you're using it, you're just winging it. Yes, it could make you lazy, and then, like once again, it takes effect on some people where they just can't. They have no cognitive function. They're just in la la land. I got some guys that I've been around. It's like I tell them like, man, I don't even know why you smoke. Bro, you just need to go ahead and quit because you know what I'm saying. You go to Mars when you get higher. Like, bro, you got what I'm saying. You got no control, and I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah. And
So
I've
so
seen some of that around here too. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask Johnny if he so the first time you decided to get high, like what made you do it? You know what I'm saying? Like not even I mean, was you knowing that it was gonna be beneficial or was it recreational?
To be honest with you, it was like it called me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody pressured me. I've seen it or I was around it a few times. No one actually offered it to me. I actually come out like, man, you know what? I'm gonna go chill with my cousin. I ain't gonna say his name, but yeah, I'm gonna go chill with my cousin because I know he be smoking. I want to smoke. I just want to test it out. And the first night, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I didn't test the waters. I dived in the waters. I smoked a lot, and it was actually, like I said, it was actually beneficial. I came up with ideas. We came up with some ideas, and can't speak on those ideas as well, but and we succeeded. We succeeded, and it was actually carried on from that. I actually got more into music more. You know what I'm saying? It started opening my mind. I actually got better at understanding how to play the piano. Like Philip was saying, it actually opened my mind. It made me think. It made me go deeper. Because it actually, I don't know what part of the brain it tapped into, but it just tapped into it. Like it made it more understanding for me. It's like it slowed. Instead of slowing me down, it slowed down what I was focusing on.
Yeah.
If that
I
makes any
recall that
sense.
too. Yeah, it seemed like it made at some point I remember it slowing down everything around me.
Right.
Somebody said that sound like more of a thing for like certain type of people because for certain people, everything around them is moving fast and they can't keep up. So for that type of person, it would be more beneficial.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is slowing everything around me down. But for people who are naturally, you know what I'm saying, just moving fast with everything else, it slows
hmm
them. For me, I'm speaking for me because I'm like my for me, it definitely slows me down. I can just remember like, growing up, I had like a natural high of life. Like I didn't need no substance. I can go anywhere, be the life of the
Yeah.
party. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just everything I did was just off of just a natural high. Like I just love life. I enjoy, socializing with people, being with friends. Like I can go to parties where all my friends were drinking and smoking. I wouldn't touch it. I always had the thing like, oh, I'm an athlete. I'm never going to abuse. I'm never going to do drugs. I'm never going to do, alcohol, nothing like that. I always had that approach to it. And I stayed that way, all throughout school, middle school, high school, everything. I stayed that way, even when everybody around me was doing that. I continued to, be sober, and I can. And when
hmm
I did start doing it, I see the difference in because before I started doing drugs and alcohol, and I ain't gonna say doing drugs, that sounds crazy, but before I started smoking marijuana, when before I ever touched marijuana, before I ever touched alcohol, and even like down to before I even had sex, because that can be a drug too. Before I did, when I was pure, you know what I'm saying? When I was just pure and focused, like it was crazy the things I can do. Like I could see a dance, I could do it like off rip. I can see I can mimic, you know what I'm saying, like a personality, like somebody, like Jim Carrey, or you know what I'm saying, like I can mimic a person, or anything I tried I can do like the first time, and then the more if I really was interested in doing it, I was always good at it. Everything I did, it was just like easy. Everything was just so easy to me, like down to math, and you know what I'm saying, those, just school. I never had to study, it just like it was just a natural high, and just everything was just, I don't know, everything was just too easy for me. I felt like, you know what I'm saying. And then when I started getting involved with, you know what I'm saying, marijuana and alcohol, that's when I realized like I would say like those superpowers, because I always, to me, I would think that those like superpowers to just be able to gravitate and do anything that you tried to do. It was just easy to you. You could do it effortlessly. And that's when I realized, like, for me, that marijuana did slow me down. So when I first tried marijuana, it was my senior year of high school, and it was prom weekend. I was with my boys or whatever, and I had a bad high. Like my first high was a bad high, because I think they mixed it with like, I don't even want to say, but I think, and everybody was tripping. Like I was watching. I remember when LeBron James, he played for Miami Heat, and it was him, Dwayne Wade, and Bosh. And I just remember like it was like their heads had just looked so big and their bodies were small, and it was like we was actually watching the game, but they, we all seeing the same thing. We just tripping, and I'm just telling my boy like, bro, like what I gotta do to calm down, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm paranoid, I'm panicking, like what I gotta do to calm down. And so them boys like, man, I was like, do I need to go to sleep? I was like, yeah, bro, just take a nap. They good, they've been smoking, they've been doing this, and so I go take a nap, and then I'm just like, I get back up, and I just like, well, I don't never want to feel that again. And but I still ended up doing it again. And then once I, started doing it, it became fun to me. But and then somebody told me one time, like, if anything ever make you not want to have sex, like not want your man to get up, you don't need to be doing it. And weed was one of those things, like, alcohol, I can, perform like I want to sexually and all that, but like marijuana is just like, I feel like I would overthink, you know what I'm saying? I'll be too much into my thoughts, or I get around a female or something and can't even talk the way I normally talk, or just get stuck, just be frozen. So, and then I remember I was in college. It became a thing. So now I'm doing it, and it was fun. I had fun with it, but I realized you said you didn't abuse it. I feel like I did start to abuse it. I started to just overdo it like, I'm going to class. I'm like, oh, I can't go to class till I do this. You know what I'm saying? I can't eat till I do this. I realized like, all right, now I'm abusing it, and then now and ever since then, it's just like I would continue to do it, but knowing that I'm not getting good effects from it. I'm not being productive. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting in my thoughts and just overthinking all the time. I'm slowly reacting at, just being lost around people. I'm realizing that this ain't something I need to be doing, but that's when I realized, okay, it is a drug, because I know I'm not having, good effects from it, but I'm continuing to do it. Like it's hard for me to stop, So that's when I realized, all right, it's a drug. But it's just like anything can be a drug. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Video games can be a drug, if you allow it to be. So
anything addictive.
That's how I felt about it. So it's just like, I finally got to that point where I realized, all right, like, yeah, you got to be real with yourself. Because all my boys that I know, everybody I know that do it, they're like, man, it's not the drug, it's you. I can function, I can do this. Like everybody be in denial because they want to defend the drug, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's a drug if you're allowed to be. You know what I'm saying? I just can't function off of it. So that's when I really was like, I gotta put it down. And then like my dad say, like, I still to this day, I still like I know I'm still affected by it. Like, Even though I ain't do it, and I mean, I probably did like a gummy or something, but recently or something. But like, I just know like it's like right now I can't even express what I'm trying to say because what I'm saying, I know that affects me. I can't clearly think or clearly get out what I want to get out when I'm talking. Everything. I'm not just as fluent as I used to be when it comes to everything, and I just feel like that just came from touching that substance, and that's not the only substance. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I
Alcohol.
feel like when you get like that, it's because you're trying to think and speak at the same time. That's where a lot of that, that hesitation, where sometimes we might get stuck in our train of thought. As we're trying to speak, we're thinking on what we're saying, and we're actually thinking ahead while we're trying to relate it. Sometimes that's how I feel. That be my scenario.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and also when you're talking about abuse, I say I don't abuse it, but on the outside looking in, let me be honest with you. If someone was to see how much I smoke, they would say, yes, I abuse it. You know what I'm saying? I'm one man by myself. An ounce will only last me like 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, on the outside looking in, like, I'm very honest as well. You know what I'm saying? On the outside looking in, everyone would call that abuse.
Yeah.
But the reason why I don't call it abuse is because I could stop, I could quit right now. And no, this ain't no denial because I've already done it multiple times. You know what I'm saying? If the time calls for it, you know what I'm saying? When business is involved, I drop it quick. You know what I'm saying? That's a more of a self-control type of thing because I'm also about my money. I don't play by my money. So when that's involved, I could drop it. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no trying to hide and find those shortcuts. We'll drop it real quick. But once again, like I said, it doesn't fit everyone. I'm not saying, hey, we should just make weed legal for everybody, because there's some people out here that do smoke and, like you said, are in denial. And that is not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So I can kind of understand why they try to govern it so much, because you got people out there that just not going to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And it's just going to take it down a bad. There's a lot of people out here that say they can drive, but I guarantee you someone just wrecked as I was saying that. Everybody can't drive. So
when you put it down, you don't feel like you be needing it though. Like you can stop and not feel like you need it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, because I keep my mind occupied. I'm doing something. I'm more I guess you consider me ADHD. I'm a very hyper person. You know
that's what I'm about to say.
I don't need no energy drink.
Yeah.
I drink coffee one a day. I don't even need coffee. I'm so animated. Even if you check me out when I speak, I'm all over the place. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to stay still.
Yeah.
Until I'm asleep.
That's
like I said, what's
helpful for you then in that aspect, because that's what I'm about to say too. Those type of people, like people with like fast metabolisms, people who I noticed that we don't slow them down at all. You know what I'm saying? They can go get high, do what they need, and keep going. They still be going. You know, so I think it's people that have like the slower metabolisms who will allow it to let them get lazy. And just sit and be thinking the whole time and not being productive. And I think that's me. Like I cannot function on it. I can't do what I need to do with it. Like I'll be stuck. Just it'll take me 10 minutes to do something that take a minute. Like
and that's what I was getting ready to say about Dub. He every time I see you firing on all cylinders. He ain't skipping a beat. And I mean, for you say how much you smoke and you still like bam, bam, bam like that. And then when you said you probably ADHD. I guess that kind of makes sense. But at the same time, I feel like I think I'm a bit ADHD, but it just for me it just ain't working. If I decided I wanted to smoke again, I'd be like a kid, like my son just said, I'd be stuck, boy. I'd be stuck for seconds and minutes at a time trying to express one thing. Versus you, I mean, it's just like fluent, firing, going.
And I think I'm ADHD a little bit too. I know I am, but like I said, I think it has something to do with your metabolism too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I look at you, you look like you got a fast metabolism. Like
man,
like you can
it's a struggle. It's a struggle to gain weight, boy.
Struggle. See, but, you know what I'm saying? I got a slower metabolism, and I just feel like for people like me whose metabolism is slower, and you know what I'm saying, I don't think like that's just for me from people that I like my friends who do it, that all my friends that had high metabolisms, they were just like that. Like they, you know what I'm saying, they always on go, they moving fast, and they need the weed. You know what I'm saying? One of them, he supposed to be joining in, his birthday today, but so that's probably why he ain't joined in yet. That's who I really wanted to get on here, on one of my boys. But he like you, high energy, fast metabolism, and he smoke all day. Like, and he go to work, high. Everything he do, he high. Right.
It just looks so. Even when they high, you don't know they look sober.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You won't be able to tell how I feel right now. If you'd have
Mhm.
chimed in before we went live, yeah, I
Yeah.
was getting my mind right. So,
Yeah.
and you'll never know. I could operate in any function in a courtroom. I've done that too. I can go in the courtroom.
Yeah.
I can go in the CEO's office, and I can talk their lingo, and they'll never know nothing.
Yeah.
I don't get the low eye, the red eyes, and some people they bloodshot red eyes. I don't. I've never had that issue. Like I said, it operates with everyone differently, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's different. Some people can cope with it, and some people can't cope without it.
That's me. You gonna know when I'm high. You gonna know I'm look stupid. Like, I'm gonna look. I'm just look stupid. And then when I look stupid, my conversation gonna be stupid when you're talking to me. Like, and I know it in my mind while I'm looking stupid and acting stupid. I know I'm looking and acting stupid, and I can't even stop. Like, I can't even control it. So, but yeah, and then it's I know for me it's like a depressant too. I start thinking about all the wrong things, like, and I know people be like, oh, that's probably because you smoking a different. You might be smoking what is it, indica, whatever.
Indicas are down, sativas are upper.
Yeah, you need some sativa. Yeah, I'm like, man, I done tried it. I done tried the sativa. I done tried to try to see what the difference is. Same thing, man. I just get stuck. Even if I'm not, even if it's not down there, if I'm not too down, I'll still be stuck. You know what I'm saying? Stuck in my thoughts. And for me, that's just I can't operate like that. But what about how y'all? Another thing that everybody is like, oh, weed kills brain cells. Like, oh well, we probably grow thousands more than we smoked away that day or whatever. But I think it's the age. Like kids doing it at 15, 14 years old, their brains ain't fully developed yet, and you know what I'm saying. So I don't think they can afford to lose brain cells. You know what I'm saying? How y'all feel about that? How long have you been smoking?
Me, to be honest with you, yeah, I was exactly the age you just said. I started at 13.
Okay.
Man,
I started at age 13.
Yeah.
I didn't have, like I said, I haven't had any learning curves. I haven't had. Matter of fact, I'm actually one of the fastest learners. That's why my resume is so deep because I learned like that. As soon as I touch it, that's all. I mean, don't get me wrong. Now it takes a little bit longer if you just let me look at it. But once I touch it one time, get out my way. I've never had any learning issues, and I've been smoking since 13. Now, am I saying my brain didn't still fully develop? I don't know. I've never got no MRI and read it. I don't have a PhD to even understand how to read it. You know what I'm saying? I probably could have been even smarter if I'd have waited till after 18 to start smoking. Who knows? I don't know. But I started at 13, and yeah, to be honest with you, I don't regret it. I would do it again. Well, I would. Yeah, there is one instance I would take back, because it kind of it slowed me up. I did get caught smoking on campus, smoking marijuana on campus, and then I ended up having to go to court over that situation. And to get out of that situation, I had to go take to a drug school called Palmer Drug, and that's when I started actually learning about weed, learning a little bit more about weed. and when actually going there, they don't even know it. They actually influenced me to do it even more. Be honest with you,
you
going to that
said
school
that was
influenced me to do it more.
you was in high school or college? What was it?
No, I was in high school. I was in high school when I got caught smoking on campus.
And then it was like that was some type of program that they had that they sent kids to when they got caught doing it.
Yeah, yeah. They actually did me a favor by helping me keep my record clean, so I could, take my skills to a different level.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the program was for. The school, go to school, and actually, I had to do it. I think it was for like 3 weeks. I had to go there after right after football practice. Actually, had to be there at 7 o'clock at night. I got suspended for a couple games, and then I was able to go back to playing football. Finish out my senior. This is my senior year at that. I actually even got a scholarship. I even got the scholarship pool for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it was in the I don't think, yeah, I think it was in the newspaper. I'm not sure, but anyway, That whole deal was for me to go there and actually learn about the drug. And it's actually they was wanting me to go there to learn how to say no, and they actually taught me how to say yes.
Yeah.
But it was very very educational. You know what I'm saying? It would if I am gonna smoke weed, at least I need to know what I'm smoking, what it is that gets me high, what and just be understanding of it, not just put anything in my body and not just know what's going on, know what I'm getting myself into.
So I recall like back when you said when you started, you was like 13 years old. Um,
Hmm.
you it, I mean you excelled. You could read something one time or look at something one time or be taught something one time and just take it up and bam and get it like that. I recall myself being like that before I actually started smoking. I could have learned anything, just like my son was saying. I could have learned anything. My creativity and my imagination was just astronomical. Um, it was just crazy. I could play play the organ, piano by ear. It just picked up. I picked up anything, technology, and everything just came natural to me. Um, and it changed when I started smoking. I'm still creative. I still pick up things on the fly, but it takes me longer. Sometimes I have to revisit, especially if I'm reading. I if I'm reading something, I got to read that shit about 5 or 6 times, depending on what it is. Especially if it's something that I don't have an interest in, I have to
Oh,
read it
okay.
over and over so it'll sink. But if it's something I'm loving now, I mean, I can read it and get into it. I still might have to come back and read again, but um, it's different if it's something that I'm very interested in. So I have yeah I've lost some functions when it comes to that as well. Um, we have family member on here viewing us. I see my sister here, my niece Jasmine, my sister Angie, Demita Watson, big sis on the other side of the family
What's up?
speaking and said hey. Um, yeah, so uh I'm trying to see if there's anything else that we can cover. No one has came in and asked any questions or added to the conversation. Let me see if there's anything in here that I can go back over. Mhm.
But what I would suggest, if anybody's on the fence, you know, check yourself. Understand what you get yourself into. Understand what type of lifestyle, because it also could affect what type of lifestyle you live. If you're dealing with, in cubicles and you're in clients' face all the time, and you're dealing with more people on a personal level. Yeah, that might not need to be the thing for you to be on. You know, just be smart. You know what I'm saying? Being an adult. If you're gonna choose to take that route, I'm a heavy smoker, but I would never tell no one to smoke if you don't smoke. Because I mean they say smoking is harmful for you, but I still, if we could ever find some, I want to see some case study on marijuana actually harming someone. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe y'all know something, but I've never come across an instant where someone died over weed. So
And
I.
yeah, and as we express here, we pretty much came. We got have three different perspectives, and we can gather from these perspectives that each individual is going to have a different experience. So, like you
Mhm.
said, people need to get to know what it is that they're about to get involved with. Know your body, know yourself, pay attention to
Mhm.
how it's taking a toll on you. And for those who are on the fence, even those who are involved and might be wanting to slow down or might be wanting to get out of it. Um, you at the end of the day, you gotta be responsible and you got to know what's going on,
Mhm.
acknowledge it, accept the truth of what the situation is. Um, don't give in to peer pressure, um, and stuff like that. See, Demeter said Mary J will enhance those spiritual gifts. Yes, totally agree, Demeter. Again, it goes back to being responsible and paying attention and knowing yourself, knowing what you're putting in your body. Because also I would add, like my Akil said early on, smoking with people, letting somebody roll up and just hand you something, you need to be there when they're rolling, because
Yeah.
once the thing is rolled and they passing it around, you don't know what's in there. And all this craziness with this what is it uh what's that thing that's killing everybody?
Talking about the Flocka or the fentanyl.
Yeah, that fentanyl. I
Mm-hmm.
heard you can you get a little speck on your hand, and that thing will take you out of here.
Yep.
So you can't just be hanging out with people thinking people are your friends, thinking it's all good and lovey dovey and lally gaggy, and letting people roll and hand you shit. Um, yeah, so we got to be careful, man. I want to go. Oh, hold up. Demeter says, do it at home and not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she's responding to something I said. She said, nope, get your own. Don't smoke with other people.
Yeah.
Tyrone said, hey, y'all, what's up? Tyrone, my brother, he just chimed in. Um, Tyrone, I guess you can probably see the title of this live. We're on here talking about, weed smoke. We've been going through some of our experiences with it, talking some of the pros and cons and all that good stuff. I don't want to backtrack too much, but this live will be available. You can tap on it once we get out of here. One of y'all
Yeah, like
got
she was saying though, definitely take it home. Stay home, smoke it home. You know what I'm saying? Don't, I used to ride and smoke a lot. I actually started getting smarter because it ain't that I couldn't drive. It was more like of getting caught while driving with it, having it on me. But I don't suggest you drive and smoke anyway. But
yeah,
yeah, it's best to take it home. You know what I'm saying? You know what you got. You know what I'm saying? Don't I suggest that's how I am. I don't really smoke with nobody. I got one homeboy that I will smoke with, but he's on the same level that I am. Also, on top of that, you won't have to worry about your blunt being dirty if you're in the right areas. Anyway, you shouldn't be hanging around people on the hood. Get off the block. And that's what I
yeah,
was gonna say. It was
yeah.
when she tuned in and said, "Take it home." Yeah, get off the block. Take your butt home.
Mhm. And speaking about driving, I remember one time I was I was smoked out. I was by myself.
Mm.
Right there on 501, came to the red light, stopped at the red light, and I don't know how long I've been at that red light, but this was a time before there was cell phones and the internet and all that good stuff. So I wasn't looking down at my phone. I was just looking
Right.
in outer space. The light had already changed. Like I said, I don't know how many times it changed. Cars blowing, cars flying by me on each side, and I snapped out of it. I was like, "Oh shit!" Looked around, just eased on down the road. So that's
That
just
sounds like me.
thing I
I've had that. I've had that experience plenty of times. I've been to. I done stopped at a stop sign and waited on the stop sign to turn green.
Oh man.
yeah, that's
Ooh, that was some good stuff, right? Yes,
yeah,
sir.
pretty good there.
So
I tell
definitely
you,
stay off the road with it if you
you
Oh
can't
yeah,
handle it.
yeah. You don't want to be causing no accidents or nothing like that either.
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
just I don't condone it. Yeah, just don't do it. Yeah, even if you can handle it, just don't do it. Just go home.
yeah. Be
Just
responsible.
wait till you get home. Yeah, wait till you get home. Wait till you get to your homie crib. Just do better.
Yeah. The meter says homegrown is the best. The stuff they get now isn't good. It's laced with too many chemicals. Yeah, I wanted to I was gonna touch on that a little bit. Like
Yeah.
all these different strains that they got now. Um Dub, you might be able to kind of
Oh yeah.
respond to
Oh
that
yeah.
better. What's your take, and what would you kind of recommend? Not that we're giving advice. Just what do you think about all these new strands, and you know, have you experimented with any of that?
Oh, actually, I do. I have a green thumb myself. So they're homegrown. Is actually like she said, it is the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Grow your own. If it's legal in your state, you know what I'm saying? Let me put that out. Let me put that disclaimer out there first. If it is legal in your state, yes, grow it at home. You know what you got. You know what type of strand you got. You can go to a seed bank and it gives you a whole paragraph, a whole page on what type of strain it is, where the strain, where the strain came from. You know, what type of seed is it? Is it a male or female? Um, you know, what origin did it originate from? Like you get a whole list of what you're dealing with. So all these different strains they got. And the reason why you got all these new strains today is because in all these other states where it is legal, Colorado, California, all these places, they got so many. They call it the what's the word that I'm looking for? Herbivore? Is it the herbivore the hoarder culture? And that's where you just got a whole bunch of growers. You know what I'm saying? They coming up all these, they crossbreeding these seeds. They're pollinating them. Pollinate means they get a male plant and they just take the pollen and they're shake it over a different tree, and that pollen collects on that plant, and then it kind of crossbreeds, it cross gens. So that's where you get all these different strands. You got 1,000,001 different types of names of weed, and it's actually it's legit. It's just when you're getting it off the street, what I'm saying, when you're getting it from your plug, he might get it from somewhere, and the middleman changes the name on it 10, 20 times. And by the time you get it, you don't know what you got. And then all this stuff, the way it looks new, the way all this different, the way it looks now, back to how it was 15 years ago, it looks crazy, but it actually doesn't. It's just all it is. It's become more recognized. It used to be, it was putting people in jail for 20, 30 years for a pound. Now the times have changed, and now that we've starting to become more aware of what it is and how it operates, that it's actually not a drug. You can actually use it for medical benefits. You can turn it into oil. You can turn it into an edible and eat it. You can put it in your coffee. There are good benefits to it if you don't abuse it and you use it for what it's for, not putting all this other stuff, all these chemicals in it. You could put color in it to make it change its color, make the bud grow a different color. That's where some of that comes from. But there are actually flowers out there that actually naturally grow like an orangish looking color or a pink looking color or a bluish tint. That is actually grown organically. But we've been so confused or not informed that we just see it coming in off the street. But as it comes more legal, you'll start to see there, because there's going to be descriptions that they start to sell it on a recreational level. Yes, it's just like in the medical. I used to have a medical card. You go into there and buy it, man. It's like you can go just look through the book, and it's got a whole description on what it is, how much it even tells you how much percentage of THC is in it, whether it's CBD, whether it's a hybrid. Like I can go on and on how many different types of marijuana it is. It's a plethora of it.
Yeah.
You'll get lost in it.
So with that said, with it being so many different choices, um, what is the difference in the high? How do you know? How do you
It's
know
the
you
same.
want like it's the same?
It's the
Really?
same. Yep, different strands you'll get. You still get high. All it is, you might get a different flavor from a certain strand.
Oh, so it has
And it might be more. Some of it might be more fluffy, or you might looking for something more compressed.
the
You know,
taste
it's,
and
it's
yeah,
yeah, that's really the difference in it. It's the
that is,
taste,
that is,
and sometimes and some of it, yeah, your high will last longer. There are some strains where your high lasts for a pretty good time, for a long, especially for someone that's experienced like me. I need something strong. If not, if it ain't that good, 20 minutes, I'm gonna be ready to smoke again. Especially if I got free time on my hands. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke and find something to do. But other than that, you get you something good. That's why they make all these strains. They trying to find something, because everybody's different. So there might be a strand that both of you've never even smoked, that y'all got a negative effect on it, but there might be a certain strand out there that y'all can smoke, and it'll have you exactly like you are when you don't smoke. I'm not saying go out there looking for it, but
right.
it's a
Yeah.
possibility. It's a possibility because it's so much. You know what I'm saying? It's a candy land. I mean, there's so much. You go to the cookies factory in California, yes, you wouldn't know what to do. It's just a big old warehouse, thousands and thousands of different strands. You would be confused. You wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, that speaking of the warehouse, that was gonna be I made some notes on some stuff I wanted to cover. But while you're on the warehouse, and Demeter, I see your comment, but let me get this out um before I forget. Um, the warehouse made me think about a couple of little shops up here in Myrtle Beach. So our state is not legalized to sell marijuana, but there's some stores here that got plants in it that looks just like marijuana. And I was asking the guy to explain to me. I mean, this that looks like weed. How are you able to do this with the state not being legalized? And he said it's because of the amount of THC
Yeah, you
that's
see.
in it.
Yep.
So
Delta 9.
yeah, I'm assuming that the dispensaries when they grow it, they can control how much THC uh, accumulates or grows within the weed. What's the deal with that?
That's where the different strands come into effect. Like I said, all these different strands. Some of them, once you grow them, some of them can get up to 40%. Some can get up to 70%. Some of them only get to 25%. Some of them only get 15%, and it's got more CBD levels in it. You know, there's so, like I said, there's so much different weed that all of it ain't just get you high. There's so much of it. There's some of it that just won't get you high, but it actually just make you hungry. And that's what it does. It does its job. That's how it grows. So it's like it's Delta 9. I'm trying to think of the law. There's a law actually out that says where it's based on a certain amount of THC, what makes it actually an actual weed. But anything up on, I think it's 0.9, I think it is. As long as it's up under that Delta 9 THC, it's considered hemp. That's why they can sell it in those stores. It still gets you high, just like all weed does. It still gets you high the same way, but by law, federal law, they consider it like a Delta 8 hemp.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's how So that's how they're actually pulling it off. 'Cause by law, it's not. It's not. It's still weed, but by law, they call it not weed.
Yeah, because that thing was full, boy. Shelves and shelves and shelves of all different kinds of stuff. This guy was just going through, just promoting, telling me this, do this, and this and that, calling all them different names. I'm like, man, I ain't
Mhm.
smoked since like the late '90s. So you kind of like you're speaking another language to me in a little bit when you're talking all these different names. I ain't never seen so many different types of weed. Um, and I don't know if Akil, if you had anything else to say, or D, if you had something else, I want to go to the comments real quick. Demeter said when you go to a dispensary, they know who's using it because they take your ID. Yeah, that's true. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
when I went there to that one over here on the beach that I'm speaking about, I actually took a female there that I used to kick it with. She likes to smoke. We were on my motorcycle. She was like, I want to go over to that store over there. So I went over there with her,
Mhm.
um, and took her to get some stuff. I'm gonna share something with y'all about edibles in a second too, because I see Demeter said those edibles hit different though. Got stuck out of nowhere. Yeah,
Not for me. I don't even do edibles, man. I've never got nothing off of it. No edible.
really, man.
Never. I'm talking about I can eat two. Boy, these things are strong. I said, all right, give me two of them.
Yeah,
Still nothing.
dang.
Still nothing. Edibles just don't affect me. So that's why I don't even waste my money with them no more.
Right.
Nah, nah.
What about you, Hassan? You ever try to experiment with the edibles?
Yeah, when I did used to smoke, I tried the edibles and that had no effect whatsoever from them. Then when I stopped and then did the edibles, I realized that they do have an effect. They just kick in like 2 hours. Like, it take about an hour and a half or 2 hours for it to kick in, and then you finally feel it.
Yeah.
And by that time, Johnny, you probably done. He was like, man, this ain't doing nothing. So you probably went and go ahead and go smoke and got right, yeah. And then didn't you never got to feel the effect from the edible.
Demeter said she was responding to Johnny. She said that's because you're a heavy smoker.
Yeah, I would agree with that because I'm not a pill guy either, but there's some people that be taking I've took a Percocet, you know what I'm saying, when I was playing semi-pro ball. I had got sore a few times. There was a few times that I took a Percocet, a strong one,
Mhm.
a whole one, nothing, felt nothing, and that came from me being having a high tolerance from smoking weed. So that's why I don't even take medication. I don't like no medication at all because it really don't I don't feel no effect from it due to the weed.
I'm
So
the same.
that's I guess you would call that a con for the marijuana. Like, okay, if you're trying to take medication, it ain't gonna do you no good if you smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah, that might be DNA too, because I'm like that too. Like, man, I like pills and stuff. Like, medication don't do nothing for me. If anything, it make me nauseous. Like, anytime doctors
Yeah.
prescribe me a medicine, like I just refuse to take it because I already know it ain't gonna help me. If anything, it's only gonna make me nauseous.
Yeah, same here on that. I ain't with the medicine stuff. If it's something that I absolutely have to take, like you said, it makes me feel nauseous too. Um,
Mm.
yeah, as far as speaking of pills, I tried did a X back in the day, nothing. Uh, did some spoons with some white boys, nothing. And
Mm.
unlike experimenting with weed, I didn't go back for a second time to see if I was gonna feel anything because I wasn't trying to go down that road again. Um, speaking of gummies, I took the young lady that I was speaking about a minute ago to that place over there when she was there. I tried I bought got some edibles. I can't remember which one it was. Came home. I said, yeah, when I get home, the guy told me, he said, whatever you do, don't take that while you're riding your bike. I said, no, I ain't being stupid. So that was my last experience with anything concerning THC. I came home, was in here trying to do me some beats. I took one of the gummies. I said, it tastes good. Sat there for a few minutes, nothing. About 30 minutes, nothing. So I'm taking another one. Took another one, nothing. I think it was 3 or 4 in the pack. Long story short, I took that whole pack. I never want to feel that experience again. That thing had me. I can't even explain the feeling. It was the worst high, the worst hangover, the worst hallucination, the worst hearing voices, the worst seeing things, the worst world spinning experience I ever had. It
And you
kind
was
of,
making beats, you didn't turn into Zaytoven?
bro, them beats. I don't even know what happened. Them beats. I was in my. I ended up in my room, laying on the bed, stretched out like this right here, sideways, halfway in the bed, heart racing,
You
going
about to
crazy.
kill yourself.
And that thing,
Irregular heartbeats. Yeah.
hey, that shit had me going for about. It didn't completely leave my system for about 3 days. I went to the car lot the next day. Actually, I was home all day one day because I couldn't make it. The next day, I went to the car lot. I was still feeling it. I had a hard time functioning. I was like, never again. So that was my last experience with anything THC wise, and that was about uh maybe 4 years 4 years ago. I just tried the gummies. Just I don't know. I don't know why I tried.
You're trying to tap into your creativity.
Yeah. I guess that's what it was. I wanted to try to get tippy toe over on the other side a little bit. Wasn't working. It didn't work. Never gonna happen again. Um, the meter says no, not trying shrooms. Your digestive system different. Eat half, wait 2 hours. Yeah, that's what I should have done. I should have done that. Waited 2 hours on half instead of eating the whole pack. Lesson learned. Um, just a bit of information for somebody out there who's thinking about going out there and getting them some edibles and chew up the whole pack. That was my experience. Better learn from it.
Definitely give it some time to kick in.
Yeah. I'm gonna y'all go ahead and keep talking. I'm gonna share my screen again. I want to go back to the page and read a couple of more of the negative side effects, and then we'll see what it do after that. Go ahead.
If I don't recall, I was trying when we were speaking earlier. When we was looking up the before smoking before the age of 18. I think it does smoking before the age of 18. It creates a irregular heartbeat. I
You
think I
can get
read that in an article one time. I don't like I said I didn't do my due diligence and go deep into the subject a whole lot. But if I can recall, I read that in an article that smoking before the age of 18 it causes irregular heartbeats.
Yeah. This right here, it doesn't say anything about age. Can y'all see my screen? Can you see that? Yeah, I'm sharing that. Um,
Yeah,
some
yep.
physical side effects, breathing problems, marijuana smoke irritates the lungs, and people who smoke marijuana frequently can have the same breathing problems as those who smoke tobacco. And that's something I wanted to talk
That's
about
dope.
too. Um, the
Yeah.
smoke itself, um,
Mm-hmm.
smoke, that's an issue. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just not marijuana smoke, just smoke. Period. Smoke is smoke. So,
It's the chemicals in the smoke. It's the tobacco. You know what I'm saying? What the smoke comes from whatever's burning. The smoke comes from the chemicals in whatever that is burning. So that's why actually when you smoke marijuana, because they actually advise you to smoke out of a bowl instead of smoking out of a paper or out of a tobacco leaf. If you smoke, now am I saying that it's 100% pure and it ain't gonna harm nothing? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is it is more safer because it is natural. I don't care what no doctor say. Marijuana is natural to the earth. It wasn't created by man. Put it like that. It was already here.
it's
If it grows
definitely a plant.
naturally,
We can't
huh?
argue. I say it's definitely a plant. We can't argue that. It's out the ground.
So I don't know what natural plant unless you modify it. I don't see it doing any harm. That's the reason it's natural to earth. And last time I checked, we're supposed to be living off of the earth.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if people would just bypass the smoke. Period. What about just say for instance, like Demeter say? I think well, she didn't say that. I'm not gonna say that. Say for instance, if someone's growing their own weed,
Yep.
they know what's in it. They're growing it organically.
Yep.
Why not just eat it? Bypass the smoke altogether and just eat it. Put it in your
Well,
food.
for,
Put it in your recipes. I'm
you
wondering what.
could.
It's gonna taste nasty.
Yep. There you go. It's gonna taste nasty. Yeah, it's gonna change. It's gonna change the texture of what you eat because we're talking about buds here. Unless you, like I said, unless you cook it in the food. But I don't. Like I said, you damage it. You know what I'm saying? When you put marijuana, especially when you cook it, you're damaging the trichomes on it, and it loses its potency. The trichomes is the little, like when people say, "Oh, the bud is frosty," that frost look that comes from. If you take a magnifying glass and you zoom and you get over and you look at it, where it's magnified, you looking at it, it looks like little small mushrooms. Those little small mushrooms are called trichomes, and inside those trichomes is where the THC is at.
Mm,
So once you put that that bud in a certain temperature, it what's the word that I'm looking for? It pretty much annihilates those trichomes. It evaporates it. That's the word I'm looking for. It just totally evaporates the trichomes, which is what holds the potency of what gets you high.
man.
Now, like I said, if you're not trying to do it to get high, then okay, then that's a different story.
Yeah.
But most people smoke weed. They're doing or eating edibles. They're doing it to get high. So
Right.
not saying that it doesn't kill the weed. It's just like I said, it kills the potency. So if you got something that's real strong, let's say 90%, by the time you bake it, you just knocked it down about 50 to 40%.
Yeah. So I'm
Because
wondering if
Mhm.
let me go back to the comments real quick and um my response to that after I read the comments Mita said I don't want no more. She got to be talking about the edibles or either the shrooms, one of the two. And my brother Tyrone, you know all that. I had to speak to text and it got you talking. Oh, okay. I don't. Yeah, Tyrone. I guess he had his phone on speech to text and it caught me talking and he said ignore that. I don't know if he deleted it, but I don't see it. But back to what was I about to say? See, there goes a prime
I was
example.
speaking about the trichomes and how it evaporates. You were saying if they grow it organically, why not just eat it?
Mm-hmm. So for those who are not um doing it to get high, I'm wondering it would benefit those in medicinal purposes by them just cooking it or eating it. And again, yeah, it's probably going to be nasty, but I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure there's a way to figure out how to make that make that flavor blend the right way
Oh,
until it's quite tasty.
they got it.
Season.
They got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it, bro. Yes, sir. They even got, man. They can even turn your marijuana. You can turn it into a liquor using this liquid called tincture. Like, man,
Oh,
you man,
I heard
candy.
those.
You can turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can turn it into liquor. You can turn weed into You can turn it into candy. They make nerds rope out of it. I actually know how to do that. Take it what you do is they compress it and they get all the TH out of the bud. Because if you compress a bud, if you put it up on a heat, like maybe 200 degrees heat pad, and you compress it real tight and you squeeze it, what comes out of it is like a solution. Like comes out like tree sap. That's what it looks like. Tree sap.
Hmm.
I don't know if y'all know what tree sap is, but yeah, it looks like tree sap or syrup. It looks like syrup coming out of it, squeeze out of it. That's where all the pure THC comes from. Now you can take that THC and you can put it, like I said, put it in the food. Now, if you're trying to worry about the taste, that's how you can avoid and fix the taste. Compress it, squeeze all the THC out of it as much as you can, and then take that solution and put it inside whatever you're cooking. Put it in your brownies, put it in your candy, or put it in your coffee,
I think
whatever.
I think what he was saying is why not just eat the bud straight out of the ground?
Yeah, yeah, that definitely would not work. I mean, you could do it. I would, yeah, it wouldn't taste great. It would be terrible. It wouldn't taste good at all. Trying to chew on that bud is like trying to chew on some outdated beef jerky.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That
know,
wanted that with
you're gonna be chewing for a while. You're gonna be chewing for a very long time.
yeah, man. Yeah, that it ain't gonna that's not gonna fly right there.
No, no,
Um,
you don't want to do that.
so let me jump back to the physical effects again, side effects. We spoke about that increased heart rate. Marijuana raises heart rate for up to 3 hours after smoking. This effect may increase the chance of heart attack. Older people and those with heart problems may be at higher risk. Uh, Problems with child development during and after pregnancy. I'm not going to read through all of that, but it says one study found that about 20% of pregnant women 24 years old and younger screened positive for marijuana. However, this study also found that women were about twice as likely to screen positive for marijuana use via a drug test than they state in self-reported measures. So, yeah, pregnant ladies, y'all need to stay away from that. You don't need to be messing with our babies before they come out. Intense nausea and vomiting. I've experienced some of that. It's intense nausea, no vomiting, but definitely experienced that intense nausea. I actually experienced that intense nausea from that freaking gummy edible thing. Mental effects. Long term marijuana use has been linked to mental illness in some people, such as temporary hallucinations, temporary paranoia, worsening symptoms in patients with schizophrenia, a severe mental disorder with symptoms such as hallucination, paranoia, and disorganized thinking. Yep, I fell in that category right there.
That's what I want to know who are these subjects that they're testing on? Because it's like it's like they're trying to find. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, everybody's different, but yeah, these studies, like, wow, how many people are y'all studying?
Yeah,
Because everything that they just said on there, I'm the opposite. You said you fell into that category, and me, I say I'm that none of that.
yeah,
I need to choose the last option that says none of the above.
yeah, and that's what I was saying. When I did that post a while back, you are a rare exception for real. And I mean, it is
Mm.
the proof is in the pudding. Every time I talk to you, you toked out. We got on here. You toked out. You probably still got something in you right now, and you can feel it. You ain't skipped the beat yet. So definitely, you are a rare exception, and uh, different people are going to have different effects. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm seeing right now. Um, yeah, getting high from passive exposure, other health effects. Uh, Yeah, a bunch of little things on here that we can keep on scrolling through, but I'm not gonna sit here and
Mhm.
go ahead and keep reading the entire article. Basically just wanted to share some information, give some perspectives, and I'm hoping that this helped someone, gave some people some insights, and kind of help them out with whatever they might be trying to do when it comes down to making that decision on smoking or not smoking. You guys got anything else to say? I don't know what Tyrone laughing at over there. My brother, he got a big old laughy face with tears coming out of it. You laughing at your brother? Time for me to get up out of here and start to mess up. But yeah, let me end the screen. We'll go ahead and start moving towards shutting it down. Y'all got anything else to say? We can go ahead and do that.
Um, know thyself. You know what I'm saying? Start. That's the very first thing. Know thyself. If you're thinking about smoking weed, know yourself. You know what I'm saying? That be the most biggest issue with anybody that's wanting to smoke weed or smoking weed and trying to get off or in denial. That's always going to be one of the biggest factors. It's because you're not understanding yourself. If you understand yourself a lot more, you'll be able to understand the situations that you're in or choosing to go down. So if you understand yourself more and you know that this weed ain't for you, then there's no need to even take your time trying it. If you're smoking weed and things ain't working out, maybe you need to get off of it, you know. And that's just pretty much self-explanatory, but it won't never be self-explanatory if you don't understand self. But the first thing in that first word in that is self, self-explanatory. So
Yeah,
understand thyself.
yes. And to add to that, have some discipline about yourself. Be able to control yourself. Um, Especially a lot of younger people. Don't give in to that peer pressure. Um,
Hmm.
you don't have to be doing the same thing that the crowd is doing to be cool. You can be yourself if you don't want to smoke. You can be yourself and still be cool. I know for me right now, I can. I was just talking to somebody outside today. I can be around smokers. I can be around crackheads. I can be around people drinking, doing all that stuff. But I'm still, I already know that I don't want, I don't want to be in. I'm not going to consume this. So I'm able to be there and still be, in the midst of those type people without having to indulge or giving in under peer pressure. So I think that's a great takeaway for mainly for uh, young people, teenagers
Hmm.
who want to be in with the in crowd. If you have to be pressured to do something you don't want to do, those are not your friends.
At all.
Your true friends will be like, "I hey, nah, he or she ain't doing that. She cool, but she don't do that. Leave her alone. I'll leave him alone." And that's my two
Yeah.
cents on that.
100%. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I feel like young people should just wait. I mean, they got all the time in the world to explore and do all that. Like, it's so much more young people should be focused on than trying to worry about getting high or whatever. You know, just because it's being done at a young age don't mean it's the right thing. For young people to be doing that. But I mean, I feel like if you ain't paying your own bills, you ain't doing, if you ain't out here on your own making your own decisions when it comes to surviving and living, then I don't feel like you should be making them type of decisions to be, indulging in smoking and like I mean, I did it underage, but I'm just saying I don't feel like young people should be doing that. I feel like it's just so much more that they could be doing. Um, as far
Absolutely.
as getting to know themselves anyway, that they don't know themselves yet to even be doing that. So they definitely
Right there.
it's gonna be easy for them to lose themselves by indulging.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And you hit that right on the mark because I'm glad you said that.
yeah,
At an early age, you know what I'm saying? Don't. There ain't no need to do it because like you're not paying no bills, you're not on your own, so you
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing it because if you're not on your own, most likely somebody is funding your habit. You had to get the money from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding yourself is taking care of yourself,
Yeah.
and it don't come from smoking at an early age. You're
Right.
gonna make certain decisions that can actually ruin your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it didn't ruin my life, but things could have went a whole lot differently. So
Yeah.
that's everyone doesn't get that lucky.
Right.
Sometimes it only takes one time, and it messes your whole entire life up. So no, don't ain't no need to take that chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's good enough to close it out right there. Y'all take heed to it. Learn from the things that we shared today. Learn from my mistakes and take accountability. We're gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and get ready and shut them down. If that's all you guys got to say, let me check the comments real quick. Um, Tyron said y'all gave a lot of knowledge there. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Um, yeah, like I said, I hope this adds some value, gave some people some insight, uh, give some people some things to think about before they make that decision. We're gonna go ahead and move it on out. I'm gonna shut it down. Let's see here. Let me end it. Oh. You know what? We actually I tagged you guys in the beginning of the live. I think I tagged you in the promotion I did. But anyway, tell anyone who's interested in just linking up just to follow you on social media or looking for a mentor or somebody that might wants to dive a little deeper and ask some questions on stuff that we didn't cover here. Uh, Dub, let everybody know where they can find you at here on Facebook or any other platform you want.
All right, sure. All platforms across the board is Dub Sounds, DUBSOUNDZ, Dub Sounds 85. You can also find me on straightgateme.com. I'm an actor, you know what I'm saying? I got to plug my guys in. It's a filming company called Straight Gate. A lot of films is coming out. Tune in to that website. You can find me on there, Instagram, and just check out my page and you'll see the whole list of everything that's coming out in the future. If you want to reach out to me and get some more understanding about marijuana, understanding some things about consumer law. I talk about consumer law as well, about those bills and those taxes. So, I'm very informative. So any information, feel free to ask me. Dub Sounds 85.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to say I want to get you back on and we want to talk about some other things that you're into. You kind of gave them a little snapshot of it. Y'all get used to hearing him. He's got a lot of knowledge, and we're gonna get back on here and speak on some other stuff. Um, Kill, I'll sound let him know.
Oh yeah, I'm tuning out too. I mean, you know where to find me. I am Kill Real on Facebook. I'll be on here. Plenty more probably. Trying to find invite more people to come on and share what they have to offer to the world.
All right, and Kill Real. Kill is KILREAL. And of course, me myself, Philip. I own a digital marketing company. I'm building a marketing company. I do web design and digital marketing, um, offering services in search engine optimization, graphic designs, social media, and all the above. Anything under digital marketing, internet marketing, I can help you guys out with that. I can give you some consultation. I can steer you in the right direction in getting your brand seen, found, and seen on the web. You can visit my website, davismarketingsolutions.com, or Google me, Davis Marketing Solutions LLC, right here on Facebook, Davis Marketing Solutions. I'm on Instagram, Davis Marketing Solutions, TikTok, Mr. Davis Marketing Solutions. Thank you guys for dropping in. I appreciate my fam coming in here and making this live worth the while. I feel very strongly that we have provided some value, and we want to keep this thing going. And yeah, I think that's it. Before I zone out,
Yeah, make sure y'all stay tuned, man. My man's gonna keep bringing y'all some information, man. Stay tuned in. It's only gonna get better from here.
Yes, sir. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and let's see. I'm gonna hit this here. I'm gonna do the thank you. Bam. Y'all see the thank you screen right there. We're gonna go ahead and ride out with the anthem. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go.